welcome our beloved viewers to RTD's News English Edition. As usual, we bring to you the top and major highlights of tonight. Interment ceremony of the new Sultan of Fausa in Djibouti, Ethiopia, Afar region. Workshop on the fundamental principles of public-private partnership organized by the Ministry of Economy. And on the international scene, illegal migrant arrivals on the rise, Italy. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. Mr. Alexis Desway Flower at Brussels and consul of the author of the individual communication of Mr. Daher Ahmed Farah filed on November 21st, 2017 before the United Nations Human Rights Committee against the state of Djibouti, visited Djibouti in his capacity as Vice President of the FIDH, and this in order to learn more particularly about the issue of human rights in Djibouti. The Republic of Djibouti has always collaborated and will continue to collaborate with human rights mechanisms, but deplores the actions of the FIDH and the decisions taken against Djibouti by depriving the law of a party that has sued the state of Djibouti before the Human Rights Council. Consequently, Djibouti regrets the lack of neutrality of this mission and invites the FIDH to reconsider the choice of its missionary. The ceremony of interment of the new Sultan of Fausa, had in the person of Ahmed Ali Mirah Hamfari, took place yesterday, Monday, March 13, 2023, in the historic city of Asaita. Several hundred people from the interior of the country, the Ethiopian diaspora especially from the Afar region, came to this great ceremony. Djibouti, for its part, was very well represented by several members of the government, including the Ministry of Environment, Mohamed Abdelgader Musa, that of Transport, Hassan Muhammad, and Ali Hassan Bahdo, Ministry of Justice, the Chief of Staff of the Presidency, Mr. Mohamed Abdelgader, parliamentarians and senior officials. They were welcomed by the authorities of the Afar region, notably its president Awal Arba. A group of songs and traditional dances were part of the event, along with hundreds of anonymous people who have visited the Ethiopian territory during the past week. The ceremony of interment of Sultan Ahmed Ali Mirah Hamfari also took place in the presence of the main Afar traditional and customary authorities of all the regions, including Sultan Ali Habib of Tajorra, as Aita was therefore the center of interest and the point of governance of all this huge crowd that came to reshape the image of this historic event, the coronation of the 15th Sultan. Festivities that lasted all morning enjoy and excitement, including the execution of the ritual laying of the traditional cloth making, the effective interment of the new Sultan Ahmed Ali Mirah Hamfari. Born in Asaita, Sultan Ahmed Ali Mirah was educated in Asmara in present-day Eritrea, Cairo, Egypt, and the United Kingdom. He later attended American University and Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. in the United States. The Sultanate strives to preserve the culture, traditions, and ways of life of the Afar people. For centuries, it has played a crucial role in maintaining social cohesion. The Sultan represents the political and cultural identity of the Afar people and serves as a symbol of their history and traditions. These are the aspects that the new Sultan Ahmed Ali Mirah is called upon to observe during his reign, and he made a point of reminding us of this during his speech following his coronation.
ينقلب قلبي له
Sultan Ahmed Ali Mirah Hamfari delivered an important speech to the thousands of people gathered in the heart of the city of Asaita. I would like to thank all the audience in the Afar community, wherever they are, for their support and commitment to our Sultanate, said Sultan Ahmed Ali Mirah. The Sultanate does not start with me. I am only the 15th Sultan, and our Sultanate is like an oasis where everyone can rest and enjoy its tranquility, said the new Sultan. We and the other Sultanates have centuries old ties and have the same origin. I would like to remind you that the Afars have contributed to the building of Ethiopia. They gave their lives for their country. That is the maximum of sacrifices. Now we have to turn to the economy because without the economy, nothing can be done. He said the difficulties are there and we have to work together to overcome them. Concerning the Afar community, the community is made up of our brothers and our children. So there is no room for misunderstanding. The local authorities are our brothers and have the same mindset, and we are naturally delighted with this, concluded Sultan Ahmed Ali Mirah Hamfari. For his part, the Minister of Environment, Mr. Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa, has during this ceremony marking the coronation of Sultan Ahmed Ali Mirah transmitted a message of congratulations of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, to the new Sultan. He recalled the frontier ties that unite our two countries, and particularly with the Afar Kilil. The minister assured the support of our country alongside the Afar region of Ethiopia during the difficult moments. Mohammed Abdul Qadir concluded by saying that mutual listening, understanding, and sharing must continue and remain at the heart of relations. Speaking in turn, the Ministry of Transport, Mr. Hassan Muhammad, said that the new Sultan is an educated man and especially pious. We are convinced, he continued, that the men and women of this region will support their Sultan so that he can fulfill his full responsibilities. The Prime Minister, His Excellency Mr. Abdul Qadir Mohammed Kamil, in a congratulatory message, wished success and achievement to Mr. Li Qiang, Prime Minister-elect of the People's Republic of China on Saturday, March 11, during the vote of deputies gathered at the People's Assembly. The palace in Beijing, Mr. Li Qiang, the only candidate for the post of Prime Minister, received 2,936 votes for 3 against 8 objections. Your appointment as Prime Minister is a fair reward for your long career in your administration, including important leadership positions in Xinjiang, Jiangsu, and Shanghai as member of the political bureau. The Premier wrote in an email to Minister Li Qiang, no one also doubts that your appointment as a Premier will make a special contribution to China's manifest commitment to pursuing a virtuous and efficient macroeconomic policy. The Premier noted at the same email, be assured, Mr. Prime Minister, that you will always find with the friendly government of Djibouti all the necessary support to strengthen the relations of friendship and cooperation that characterize the privileged ties between our two countries and our two people. The Prime Minister also stressed, reiterating his warm congratulations to Mr. Li Qiang. Still on the national scene, the Ministry of Budget organized today, with the support of the World Bank and technical financial partners, AFD in the European Union, a workshop to present the results of the first evolution of the Public Expenditure Review and Financial Accountability Program conducted in 2022. The demonstration workshop allows all Djiboutian stakeholders to become aware and appropriate of strengths and weaknesses identified in terms in our public financial management in order to determine the priorities of reforms to be implemented in the years to come. The workshop was attended by key players in the administration as well as public structures, including senior executives from sectoral ministers, Parliament, the Court of Auditors, the Chamber of Commerce, and the National Social Security Fund. This assessment tool will provide a framework for dialogue with partners for the implementation of the public finance system reform process. The President of the Court of Accounts and the Acting Secretary General of the Ministry of Economy and Finance agreed on the giant step taken with the realization of this evolution supported by a communicated political will. Speaking in turn, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Budget highlighted the importance of the Public Financial Management System platform and thanked all partners for their contributions. The organization Bandar Jadid for Socio-Economic Development in partnership with the Association in Yerif Chant with the support of the Ministry of Digital Economy and Innovation and on funding from the European Union conducted yesterday morning the launch of the project Advocacy on Digital Policies and Projects. In the presence of the Secretary General of the NGO Bandar Jadid, Mr. Sadiq, the Ambassador of the European Union in Djibouti, Mrs. Sylvie Tabassi, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Digital Economy and Innovation, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim Umar, the Secretary Quaestor of the National Assembly and Executive Member of Parliament, Ibrahim Ahmed Abdo, as well as representatives of various national and international institutions and organizations of Djiboutian civil society. This project, which aims to mobilize Djibouti Association to become aware and popularize digital services useful in all areas of daily life, education, training, health, economic, and social development environment. The overall objective is to produce a set of recommendations for the authorities to support civil society organizations through digital, said the Secretary General of the Ministry of Digital Economy and Innovation, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim Umar, in his speech. The Ministry of Economy and Finance launched yesterday a capacity building workshop on public-private partnerships, accompanied by the World Bank and the Public-Private Infrastructure Advisory Fund. The seminar was attended by the top level of the administration, including the Secretaries General of Public Ministries, the General Managers of Public Establishments and Companies, the Managers of Private Sector Companies, as well as the liberal professions, in other words, about 30 executives from ministries and public establishments and companies. However, given the complexity of setting up project in Triple P Mood, the General Directorate of Public-Private Partnership, with the support of Rebel Expert Firm, held 3 in-depth training sessions on techniques to carry out projects from 14 to 16 March 2023. During this seminar, the participants were informed about the legal and institutional mechanism put in place to promote PPPs as a financing instrument for the realization of public infrastructure and to improve the management of public services in accordance with the National Development Program. Closing a training of the project of empowerment of women and girls in Djibouti City and of young people with special needs and neurodevelopment disorder was closed yesterday morning. This project, implemented by the Association Sunnat al-Haya of Hodan, this innovative project of civil society and charitable actor in the Ministry of Women and the Family, and the CNSS, the National Agency of the Handicapped Persons, and the bank IIB participated for its success. This project covered the institution and has employment of 2 different target groups, a continuous training of traditional and occasionally therapy accomplished of people with special needs. A training of young people not attending school, aiming at reinforcing the capacity through the reading, writing, and counting program, and training and promotion of women in precarious situations through the training of the Secretary General of Director of the project, Mrs. Samira Ahmed, gave us an interview in which she explained the background of the project and its results. A delegation of Diwan al-Zakat Foundation, led by the Director General, Mr. Suleiman Hussein Musa, went yesterday to the city of Arta to proceed to the distribution of the collection of Zakat for the year 2022, in addition to distributing the third and fourth installments of sponsorship of orphans for the same year. In this regard, about 102 needy families benefited from the procedures of Zakat of this year 2022, while 60 orphans in the region of Arta benefited from the sponsorship of orphans. The Chairman of Regional Council praised the efforts undertaken by the Zakat Diwan Foundation since its establishment in 2004 to meet the needs of vulnerable groups in society. As part of the fight against smuggling, members of the Brigade of Customs, in close collaboration with the detachment of the police in the region of Ali Sibi, have intercepted a large consignment of qat smuggled from Ethiopia. The merchandise seized recently on this occasion was composed of 80 kilos of qat, whose total weight was estimated at 5,000 kilograms of qat. As part of the fight against all forms of illicit trafficking, the Directorate General of Customs and exercise deploys in response to the problem of purpose borders mobile teams that conduct in collaboration with the Gendarmerie and the National Police and Army control operations in the main points of arrival, products of contraband. These customs officers seize quantities of contraband every week. According to the standard procedure in force, this quantity was destroyed on the spot in the presence of the head of the Ali Sabih Custom Brigade, Mr. Mohammed Mu'min Hassan. Shifting gears to our international scene now, our beloved viewers. 700 migrants who arrived in Labudasa in recent days are being transferred to Porto Empedocle, Sicily. They will then go to other reception centers in different regions of Italy. Since the beginning of the year, more than 17,590 migrants have already landed on Italian shores, almost 3 times more than in 2022 and 2021. The Italian government's management of migration flows is criticized by the NGOs. Well, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening and thank you once again for joining us. Take care.